Hey everybody, and welcome to a trip down memory lane, or should I say a trip down digital memory lane. We're about to dive deep into the pixelated, polygon-pushing, controller-gripping world of video games. From their humble beginnings to the sprawling multi-billion-dollar industry they are today, we're uncovering 10 surprising facts about the rise of video games. Get ready to have your minds blown, because we're not just talking Pac-Man and Mario here, folks. We're going all the way back to the very first video game ever created. Way back when computers were the size of houses and graphics were as simple as a bouncing dot. So buckle up, grab your favorite energy drink, because this is going to be one epic boss fight of information. Let's go! Our story begins, not in a bustling arcade or a tech giant's headquarters, but in a government laboratory. The very first video game, Tennis for Two, wasn't for entertainment, but for scientific demonstration. In 1958, physicist William Higginbotham at Brookhaven National Laboratory wanted to spice up the lab's annual public exhibition. He created something revolutionary, something fun. Using an oscilloscope, he crafted a simple game where two players could volley a virtual ball. Can you imagine the looks on people's faces? Tennis for Two was the spark that ignited an entire industry. It proved that interactive electronic entertainment was possible. Little did he know, he had just birthed a global phenomenon. Fast forward to the 1970s, and video games are no longer confined to the labs of scientists. They've busted out, hit the streets, and invaded arcades across the globe. This was the golden age of arcade games, and one game ruled them all: Pong. Developed by Atari, Pong was simplicity at its finest. 2 paddles, 1 ball, and hours of addictive, competitive fun. You see, back then, video games were a social activity. People would crowd around these glowing screens, pumping quarter after quarter into machines, all for the chance to outmaneuver their friends and bask in the glory of a high score. Arcades became the social hubs of the 70s and 80s, filled with the sounds of joysticks clicking, buttons mashing, and the triumphant roars of victors. Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Space Invaders, Galaga. These weren't just games, they were cultural icons. But amidst all the success, a storm was brewing. The market was becoming oversaturated with low-quality games. Home consoles were starting to emerge, and consumers were getting overwhelmed. 1983, a year that sent shivers down the spines of video game developers and investors alike. The once booming industry faced a sudden and devastating collapse, now infamously known as the video game crash of 1983. Remember that storm I mentioned? Well, it hit, and it hit hard. The market, flooded with mediocre games, was struggling to keep up with the demand. Consumers, bombarded with subpar titles, were losing faith and closing their wallets. One of the biggest culprits? The infamous E.T. the Extraterrestrial game for the Atari. Marketed as a surefire hit, it turned out to be a buggy, confusing mess. It sold so poorly that Atari reportedly buried millions of unsold cartridges in a New Mexico landfill. The crash was a wake-up call for the entire industry. It highlighted the dangers of oversaturation, the importance of quality control, and the need for innovation to keep players engaged. But from the ashes of this digital apocalypse, a new era was about to dawn. Chapter 4. A New Hope. The NES resurrects gaming. Enter Nintendo, a Japanese company that had been quietly making waves in the arcade world with titles like Donkey Kong. They saw an opportunity amidst the wreckage of the crash, a chance to rebuild and redefine the gaming landscape. Their weapon of choice? The Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, as it lovingly came to be known. Released in 1985, the NES wasn't just a console, it was a beacon of hope for a struggling industry. With its iconic gray and black design, it brought with it a wave of unforgettable games that would forever change the face of gaming. Super Mario Bros., The Legend of Zelda, Metroid. These weren't just games, they were masterpieces. They were innovative, they were challenging, and most importantly, they were fun. Nintendo understood that gameplay was king, and they poured their hearts and souls into crafting experiences that were both engaging and memorable. Chapter 5. Nintendo's Legacy. Shaping an industry. Nintendo's impact on the gaming industry cannot be overstated. They didn't just revive a dying market, they revolutionized it. The NES ushered in a new era of home console gaming, and its success sent shockwaves throughout the entertainment world. Nintendo's strict licensing policies, while initially controversial, ensured a certain level of quality control, preventing a repeat of the disastrous oversaturation that led to the crash of '83. They understood that their brand was synonymous with quality, and they weren't about to let shoddy games tarnish their hard-earned reputation. But their influence went beyond just consoles and cartridges. Nintendo's iconic characters, from the plucky plumber Mario to the courageous Link, became household names, transcending the gaming world and infiltrating popular culture. They proved that video games weren't just a fad, they were a legitimate form of entertainment, with the power to captivate audiences worldwide. Chapter 6. From Pixels to Polygons. The Evolution of Graphics. Remember those blocky sprites and pixelated landscapes of the early days? The world of video game graphics was about to undergo a dramatic transformation. 16-bit consoles like the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis brought vibrant colors and detailed sprites. Games like Street Fighter II and Sonic the Hedgehog showcased this new technology. The late 90s saw the rise of 3D graphics with games like Super Mario 64 and The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, changing how we interacted with virtual worlds. From the PlayStation 2 era to today's photorealistic games, the evolution of graphics has been astounding. Chapter 7. Connecting the World. The Dawn of Online Gaming. Imagine a world where you could battle your friends in Mortal Kombat, not on the same couch, but from different households, different cities, even different continents. The introduction of online gaming in the late 90s shattered geographical barriers and connected players in ways never before imagined. Early online games like Quake and Diablo paved the way, but it was the rise of massively multiplayer online role-playing games, or MMORPGs, like EverQuest and World of Warcraft, that truly revolutionized the gaming landscape. These persistent virtual worlds, populated by thousands of players, offered an unprecedented level of social interaction and community building. Suddenly, you weren't just playing a game. You were inhabiting a living, breathing world, forming alliances, embarking on epic quests, and forging friendships that transcended the digital divide. Online gaming had become a global phenomenon, connecting people from all walks of life through the power of shared experiences. Chapter 8. From Basements to Arenas. The Rise of Esports. Remember those arcade days where bragging rights and high scores were the ultimate prize? Well, competitive gaming has evolved into a global phenomenon, with professional gamers battling it out for fame, fortune, and the coveted title of champion. Esports, or electronic sports, has exploded in popularity in recent years, filling stadiums, attracting millions of viewers online, and generating billions of dollars in revenue. Games like League of Legends, Dota 2, and Fortnite have become spectator sports, with dedicated teams, sponsorships, and tournaments that rival traditional sporting events in terms of scale and excitement. The skill, strategy, and teamwork displayed by these professional gamers is nothing short of astounding. They train for countless hours, honing their reflexes, mastering intricate strategies, and working together with their teams to achieve victory on the digital battlefield. Esports has shattered the stereotype of gamers as solitary figures confined to their bedrooms. It has legitimized gaming as a skilled profession and showcased the dedication, passion, and athleticism required to compete at the highest level. Chapter 9. Gaming on the Go, the Mobile Revolution. Remember when you actually had to be tethered to a bulky console or a computer to get your gaming fix? Those days seem like a distant memory thanks to the rise of mobile gaming. Smartphones and tablets have become powerful gaming devices, putting a world of entertainment at our fingertips, literally. From casual puzzle games like Candy Crush to sprawling online multiplayer games like PUBG Mobile, there's a mobile game for everyone. The accessibility and convenience of mobile gaming have made it a global phenomenon. You can now play games on your morning commute, during your lunch break, or even while waiting in line at the grocery store. But the impact of mobile gaming goes beyond just convenience. It has opened up the world of gaming to a whole new audience, reaching demographics that traditional consoles and PCs could only dream of. Chapter 10. The Future of Gaming. Virtual realities and beyond. As technology continues to advance at a mind-boggling pace, the future of gaming is brimming with exciting possibilities. Virtual reality, or VR, and augmented reality, or AR, are poised to revolutionize the way we experience games, immersing us in virtual worlds like never before. Imagine strapping on a VR headset and stepping into a sprawling fantasy realm, battling dragons, casting spells, and exploring dungeons with a level of realism that blurs the line between fantasy and reality. Or picture using AR technology to overlay digital elements onto the real world, turning your living room into a battlefield or your neighborhood park into a Pokemon-infested landscape. The possibilities are truly endless. And as technology continues to evolve, who knows what incredible gaming experiences await us in the future? Cloud gaming, which streams games directly to our devices, promises to eliminate the need for expensive hardware, making gaming more accessible than ever before. One thing's for sure, the world of gaming is constantly evolving, pushing the boundaries of technology and entertainment. Hold on tight, because the ride is far from over. Outro. Level up. The journey continues. From a simple game of virtual tennis in a lab to the immersive, interconnected world of modern gaming, we've come a long way, haven't we? We've witnessed crashes and comebacks, innovations that redefined the industry, and the birth of communities that span the globe. But more than just entertainment, video games have become a powerful form of storytelling, a canvas for creativity, and a platform for connection. They've challenged our minds, tested our reflexes, and brought us together in ways we never thought possible. So here's to the pioneers, the innovators, and the dreamers who dared to imagine new worlds and bring them to life. The future of gaming is bright, and I, for one, can't wait to see what adventures await us in the next level. Keep on gaming, my friends!